Hello, friends. It's day 9 of sketching together. It's Thursday, May 7th, 2020. I probably said yesterday was May 7th, and I was wrong. It is actually today, so I apologize. Hopefully, since yesterday, you've done a lot of sketching and came up with your cartoon character. I want to take you back to our prompt from the other day, loneliness. On Tuesday, I told you I'd show you where I was at with my drawing from The Little Prince. So I finished my planet and my Little Prince, and then I decided once I had my sketchbook open to keep going with it. So I drew Earth here and continued that theme like the illustrator author used in his drawings. And what I found is I had wished I had gone in with white, as you see the clouds over the Earth when we take photos from outer space of Earth. I wish I had done that earlier because the white wouldn't let me go over top of these other colors in the colored pencils. But that was my idea of loneliness, the little prince looking out over the universe. I also wanted to show you where I'm at with my drawing from yesterday, the cartooning. I took it a little too far, I think. I decided to work with Sharpies. And one thing I'm finding, and maybe you are too, if you're working with marker or Sharpies in these books, it's probably soaking through. Even if you're using a gel pen, it's probably coming through a little bit. I recommend using a piece of wax paper or just another piece of scratch paper underneath your page so that doesn't happen. So yesterday, when I was working with Bronte and Zoe, we did our drawings together. But then I also said, if you get stuck, just make a letter from your name or the first letter of your name, or any letter would be great. So I made a J, and it started to look like a seahorse to me. And I wish I hadn't gone in with Sharpie, but I've talked about before changing things and making things different. And what happened is I decided I didn't like the look of the seahorse, so I decided to take that Sharpie and change the shape of the face right away. And then once I worked with that Sharpie, I was pretty stuck. So it doesn't look as silly as I hoped it would. It looks a little more serious, a little more polished than I hoped. But I did add this thought bubble, which made it more cartoonish-like to me. So my seahorse under the sea here is dreaming about what else, something that they are not, a horse with legs. So I was just thinking about that idea of we're always, maybe sometimes, thinking about, dreaming about what we don't have, and not necessarily just, being grateful for where we're at and what we have right now. So this seahorse is thinking about, dreaming about being a horse on land with legs. And I think that this guy, this seahorse, has it pretty cool down here in the ocean. Okay, so today's prompt, we are going to number 21, jumping all around again. Number 21 on our list, and you can probably see some of on my page here, how the Sharpie soaked through. So I'm going to ignore that today, but the next time I work with Sharpie, I'm going to make sure I put a page down. So today I'm going to draw a bird. That's what number 21 is. We're drawing birds today. And you could choose to maybe work from a bird statue, work from a bird you see out your window, work from your imagination. Google birds and draw one off your phone or internet, or you can just think of other birds that you've seen along the way. So I decided what I want to do is I want to draw a chicken. I have chickens, and I think they're really beautiful, and so I decided I'm going to draw chickens, and I'm going to show you my chickens one day. So today I'm just going to work from an image of a chicken. And what I'm hoping to do is go in with a lot of color later on. I'll go in with a little bit of color today, but more so after the video is done today. So think about your bird. Think about what it is if you're going to look out the window, or maybe you have a bird magazine or a bird book that you can work from. Any bird. And I think that birds are so wonderful to work with because they offer so much expression as well as color. So there's so much color in a bird. I noticed in one of my chickens, when she moves, her feathers are very iridescent. And so that's not something I normally get to see, but when she's in the sunlight, I see that particular color or effect in each feather. So today I am drawing, I am drawing, I think, an Americana. And so bear with me. I'm going to draw the head. I'm working from an image that I found online that I like a lot. And I think sometimes when I look at a chicken, I think they don't have a lot of expression in their faces, but chickens have a lot of personality. Maybe some of you have raised chickens before. Maybe you grew up on a farm. And maybe you don't like chickens at all, and that's okay. But today, that's what I'm going to be working on. So I'm starting my chicken there. I hope you can see it a little bit. Yeah, ignore these marks here. That's the Sharpie that came through. Chickens do kind of have a blank stare in their eye, but I think there's a lot to work with there. They're fun creatures and they're very fun to watch. And I have to tell you, I've had different flocks of chickens, and I always believed there was a pecking order. Always one chicken who would be the leader. And recently, in the last, I think 6 months, my oldest chicken, she would have been 6 this summer. Actually, she would have been 7 this summer. So she lived a very long life. That's a good long life for a chicken. She lived to be 5.5. Well, she passed away just from old age, I think. And she left one other chicken behind. So the chicken, we just didn't want to have one chicken. So we had my sister bring over 2 of her young chickens. And what we found is we were concerned that introducing new chickens to this older chicken, and the current chicken is about 2 or 3, that it wouldn't go so well. But what happened was really beautiful. My other chicken, who was really anxious, now became very, very happy with these 2 new chickens. And they get along so well. There is no pecking order in that flock of chickens, which I find really, really amazing. So enough about chickens. You'll also know, or you should know by now, I do a lot of talking. And I don't particularly want to do a lot of talking, but I have this opportunity, and you are stuck home watching your TV right now. And so as I draw, I want to have you get to know me better. I also want to fill the time so you're not just watching me draw in silence. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just adding some very quick lines in for feathers. I will add detailed feathers as I work more and more on the chicken. So the thing about me, I grew up on a dairy farm, and we had chickens for a couple of years, but they weren't very nice chickens. We had some roosters in the mix. They were pretty mean. So I was never really interested in ever having chickens. And then one day, a few years, I guess 7 years ago, I decided, it would be great to have chickens. I don't know why, but I started researching chickens and looking at chicken coops, and I decided to set out and build a chicken coop. And so that's what I did. And then at some point, my husband got involved as I was building. He thought I needed his help, and I did. I needed help with the roof especially. But it was very, very fun to build, and it's been a great process. So my girls and I are going to paint the chicken coop, and we're going to show you our end results as time goes on. And then we're going to put a barn quilt on the chicken coop as well, so you can see that. And so I hope many of you have seen the barn quilt show that many of our residents have participated in. It's a phenomenal show down in the art gallery. It will be up until we get back together again, until our apartments and doors and rooms open back up and we can be together. So there's my chicken. I hope that your bird is looking spectacular already. I'm just getting started. I'll go in and add lots of details and lots more shading, but there it is. And I hope that you are working as well. Remember, send me your images, take a photo, send me your drawings because I'd love to see them. Jennifer.bethel@oakwoodvillage.net. And you can call me anytime with questions that you might have or anything that you might need. If you find you need some supplies, please let me know. 230-4324. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Happy art making.